the heads up that they're ready to formally start the meeting, and so I'll call on Chair Kitchen to call today's meeting to order.
Okay, I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Design Review Board today, January 26, 2023, and moving to 1.2, requesting that staff's confirmation that we've met the Kansas Open Meeting Act.
I can confirm that the packet was posted and the required notice was provided.
Okay, and then on 1.3, if we could have a roll call.
Yes, I'm going to call roll. Board Member Martins.
Here.
Board Member Manley. Board Member Noonan.
Here.
Chair Kitchen.
Here.
Okay, that is, we have 3 members in attendance of a 5-member board.
Andrew's actually on here, so just so everyone knows, he just was having some issues.
Okay, so we actually have 4 members present, all via Zoom, and that constitutes a quorum. And having provided notice of today's meeting, the chair can move ahead to item 2.1.
Okay, 2.1 is approval of the minutes from the December 8th, 2022 regular meeting. Does anyone have any adjustments or corrections to those minutes? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion to approve.
I'll move to approve the minutes as presented.
I'll second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Moving on to new business, and I guess there isn't any new. Well, there's any public hearing items. Is that something that we're going to do right now, or?
We have no public hearing items scheduled
Okay.
for today, which would allow us to move on to administrative items.
Okay. So 3.1, presentation of the 2022 Design Review Board Annual Report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The City Commission has a number of advisory boards and commissions that they have created and appoint members to, and they each year like to get a summary report of the activities of those boards and commissions, how often they meet, what their activities are, that the members that they appoint are actively participating and attending meetings. And so we've just provided an overview of your activities from 2022. And so just to summarize, this board had 8 regular meetings and 1 orientation and training meeting in 2022. And there were a total of 13 design review cases that came before the board for review. And this compares to 17 meetings that were held last year and 28 design review applications that were considered in 2021. And so the activity level, I think there was so much activity in 2021 that there were fewer buildings that hadn't been touched or modified. And so the number of cases was down from last year. This is a 7-member board as created by the City Commission. There are currently 5 members appointed, and we have 2 openings. We wanted to bring to the City Commission's attention that Board Member Martins, Board Member Kitchen, and Board Member Noonan's terms expire in August of this year. And so in addition to those openings, we have some members whose terms will be up at the end of August this year. And so we have added a new staff member, Spencer Aiken, who takes the position formerly occupied by John Berger. And so he'll be assisting us, as well as at your December meeting, you heard from Tyler Waldorf, who works for Shockey Consulting, and he helps us when we have multiple design review board applications and we need assistance with some of those reviews. I wanted to call attention to the goals and objectives, many of which carry over from year to year, but the last one, number 5, we've been contacted by SDI, and they are interested in having the city staff help them with and have the various boards and commissions look at the possibility of adopting what is called a vacancy ordinance. And those are usually done in downtown areas, and a vacancy ordinance it's really almost a building registration, but it creates an affirmative duty or requirement for a property owner to report or register their property as vacant. And some of that is for the reason that you could have situations where you have an absentee owner of a downtown property, and so it's to help keep the city, to help keep SDI aware of what's happening or not happening inside a building. And so it's really a tracking and registration ordinance. And then we did discuss having a presentation to the Design Review Board about demolition by neglect ordinances, what they can do, what they can't do, going along the same lines that if you have a vacant structure, how far can it deteriorate before the city has some tools to intervene and prevent it from continuing to deteriorate. So we'll be having some dialogue with the Design Review Board about those two things. So what we would ask of you is to look at the attendance scorecard we provided to see if you were in agreement with that, and then look at your contact information that we have to see if it's current. And then if you don't have any questions or concerns about the report, we would just look for a motion to direct staff to submit this report on your behalf to the City Commission.
Okay, does any of the group have any questions for staff or comments about the report?
That is no longer my address.
Okay. So if you want to reach out to Margie and give her a update, just so we can stay current.
Okay.
We don't mail a lot of things, but we do like to have our current mailing address and contact information. Sometimes we've even hand-delivered things to board members when we needed. So if you want to reach out to Margie and let her know that change, then we'll get that fixed.
Okay.
Hearing no other comments or questions, I would entertain a motion to approve the annual report as presented, with an adjustment to Jennifer's contact information.
I would move that, Andrew.
Okay. We have a motion from Board Member Manley to approve the board's 2022 annual report and submit that to the City Commission. Do we have a second for that?
I'll second it.
Right. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
So we don't have
Okay.
any preliminary discussion items with you when we come back with some information about a vacancy ordinance. We'll schedule that as a preliminary discussion item, not as an action item. And in terms of other business, we would just report that we do have an application filed that will be heard on February 9th. So we will meet on February 9th, the first Thursday or second Thursday of February. And as chair Kitchen is the applicant on that application. She'll be recusing herself, and so our vice chair will be needing to run that meeting in the absence of the chair, so we just bring that to the vice chair's attention.
Okay.
Okay. Do we have anyone on for the public forum?
We do not have anyone in the room or on Zoom from the public right now.
Okay. If there's no other comments or anything, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you.
Just,
Thanks.
just had a 12-minute
Thank you.
meeting. So.